Oh man, what am I watching? That was so cool. Hey guys, what we're doing is we're doing the movie Atlas today by Jennifer Lopez or J-Lo or I don't know what name you have for her, but you know the singer. Yeah. She's done a couple of movies before, and it's really crazy because, you know, back in the old days, you had to be the triple threat, which was singing, acting, and dancing. So this movie was pretty cool. It's a very cool AI movie. It starts off where you see them busy creating a robot, and there's this little girl there that plays Jennifer Lopez. So it starts off as where you see her as the daughter, and then it jumps to 28 years later where androids and robots have actually taken over. So now the crazy thing is a lot of times people talk about what would happen with the whole concept of Terminator, you know, robots taking over and wiping out humanity, which is something I think we all seem to believe would happen, and because of the fact that you know, humans are very destructive. But in the movie or in the series Orville season 3, I believe that if AI had to take over, that this would be their approach. There would be no war, there wouldn't be soldiers and everything like that. It would just be your devices that you have at home that would wipe us out. This was very cool, the way that the director shows you that he's in the kids' room, but you don't see the kids getting wiped out. So yeah, so the movie is basically, there are a couple of spoilers, I'm going to try not to go too crazy, but the robot that she creates leaves the Earth, and then 28 years later, he sends 1 or 2 drones, or the AI are busy trying to wipe out society, or there's a fraction, if you want to call it that. So this guy here is one of the main characters, one of the main AI soldiers that works for him. And yet, what I don't understand is how EMP is still the answer, even in the future. You know, here the robot gets wiped out by this EMP machine, while the humans hide behind the corner. And I've always said to my friend, surely AI would have something against this, against the EMP. So here's a clip of some ladies from NASA showing you what happens if there's a solar flare and the EMP travels past the satellites and how they protect themselves from
and take
an
all
EMP
the
satellite.
equipment we have in this capsule and put it over us as best as possible. And we have to make sure it's stowed and that we are safe and we have everything we need in terms of supplies down in this awesome little bay.
Yeah, going to space is hard and going to deep space is harder. And the technologies that we're going to need to successfully get to Mars have been being developed for many years, and it's going to take many tests like this one over many years by a large group of people in order to make that mission successful in the 2030s. So we're excited to get there, and we're working every day toward that goal.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because, you know, with Elon Musk preparing to go to Mars and everybody, you know, movies like this are actually quite realistic now. I dig this guy. Obviously, you can see all the badges he has on his jacket, so it shows this high level of military, and there's a bit of a back and forth between the two of them. She's obviously got a secret that she doesn't want to discuss, which is something that plays through the whole movie, which is actually a very, very cool twist. But this is the part where she goes in to interrogate the robot, and I thought, well, that's quite interesting, because how do you interrogate a robot? Surely all you need is the head. I mean, you wouldn't need the whole body, and that's exactly what they have. So this was one of my favorite parts of the movie, where the robot head is talking to her, and she's questioning him, and there's a bit of a back and forth about humans and what we believe. And then once again, she uses an EMP to wipe him out. This is very symbolic here, because she has a chess piece, which is also the queen piece in there, because the whole concept or the whole discussion is about a Neuralink, which was actually shown in 2.5 Men.
I'm gonna switch it up and see if you can tell the difference. Pudding. Pudding.
Oh my God, I got it.
Did you?
The function, it's recursive. It keeps getting stuck in the subroutine. This is it.
Sure?
Yeah. No, check it out. This is history. This is like Alexander Graham Bell saying, Watson, come here. This is Neil Armstrong saying, one small step for man. This is Walden Schmidt saying,
Pudding.
oh, damn it, Barry, you put pudding in my head.
Pudding. Or pudding.
I was gonna say the future is now.
The future is now. What is this, the 1912 World's Fair?
Wait a minute, guys.
What?
I think the computer just read his thoughts. We did it!
It
We
worked.
did it!
It worked. Yes!
Yeah, and I got to admit,
Not wearing a bra.
this is one thing I love about Chuck Lorre. He always has some of the latest technology in his series, whether it be Two and a Half Men or Big Bang Theory. So this is actually, sure, this is from, I think,
You're so beautiful.
wow, 2000 and, sure, I don't even know.
Handsome.
So to see this technology in a comedy, and then to see it in a futuristic movie, adds a little bit of reality to the whole story. So I just thought I'd throw that in there for you, just in case you don't believe the whole Neuralink concept. Okay, back to the movie. Once again, you see them walking through the warehouse. Very interesting directing. Always showing how robot's giving her a cup of coffee. So showing you that even though it's this massive, bulky thing, it has the ability to do something as basic as giving you a cup of coffee, to have that kind of sensitivity. Here in the background you see flying cars and everything, but this is the one concept about futuristic movies I don't understand. They had it in Aliens, they had it in Avatar, even in Edge of Tomorrow, but Edge of Tomorrow for me was probably the best exoskeleton. I really don't believe that in the future, as military people, we would need to have something that bulky. The movie then jumps to them going to this planet where the AI robot has now been hiding, and they go to try to destroy the robot. But as they approaching the planet, the robot attacks them, shooting missiles from ground level and actually wiping them out before they're even able to launch. So once again, I don't understand the bulkiness of these creatures, man. You'll see them all trying to get into the machines and try to evacuate before the ship gets blown up. Here's your typical, I call this the Titanic guy, the dude who tries to be saved, but he always gets chowed. So this part was actually pretty cool. There were a lot of cool moments here while they're falling out, how they just get into the war, going back to back. And this part here where the guy actually has a sword that he just cuts this other robot in half as they're busy flying and falling. It was a really, really cool action sequence. I got to say, it was even better than the whole Rebel Moon kind of stuff, because it's the Rebel Moon, I felt, had a lot of symbolism and cliched stuff. This year I liked a bunch of drones, similar to an Iron Man. When Iron Man helps Spider-Man save the ship, a bunch of these drones come and grab the ship, which I thought was very clever, because why would you blow the ship up when you need the material and the fuel? So then she lands on the planet. Obviously, once again, she's the lone survivor. All she has is a little chess piece to remind her about being strategic and everything. The character in the computer is just a ball of light that speaks to her. So once again, a lot of great directing, a lot of awesome angles to show isolation and everything. The computer then asks her a bunch of questions, and she doesn't want to answer them because she's got an issue with the robots. She doesn't want to connect. She doesn't want to use the Neuralink. She believes the Neuralink is bad. Once again, the whole thing about the bulky robots, this kind of reminded me of Pacific Rim, where she's battling to walk, where she's battling to carry the machine, which I find is ridiculous. I mean, when you're in a simulation, when you drive a car, you don't get tired of trying to pedal the wheel. So I've never understood this whole thing about people in the machine getting exhausted by walking. I mean, surely the machine would be able to walk by itself, So a lot of these simulation movies like Ready Player One or The Matrix, or even the relationship between the robot and the human in movies like Ex Machina or Ex Machina, however you want to pronounce that, is always interesting, the psychological connection or relationship that you can have with a machine. It then goes back to when she's a child, and you actually see that she doesn't hate computers, and she's got her chessboard. You can see her mom's warehouse and all the work that they're busy doing, and you can see how she's actually interested in the robots. But then the robot does the Neuralink with her, and when it does the Neuralink, it's I don't want to say cliched story, let's say factual story. The basis, the robot then learns about life and the beauty of nature and how many amazing creatures and just how amazing Earth actually is. But then it shows you the destruction and the waste that humans cause with pollution, and how they're killing the animals, but not purposely, but with our pollution. And then, of course, also with our weaponry and the power that we have to destroy instead of create. And that again, once again, is the whole cliched and truth about what AI believes, that humans should be wiped out because of the destruction they cause. Do you remember this? So I suppose you could argue that Atlas is very similar to Wall-E. But then again, even in the Matrix, the robots say that humans are the disease. Humans are the virus that is wiping out the planet.
His name is Wall-E. After all these years, he's developed one little glitch. A personality. He's extremely curious. And just a little bit lonely. But all that is about to change.
Yeah, so the crazy thing is I actually feel like I'm promoting the movie Wall-E more than anything else. But yeah, I think that's the logical mindset of what humans are. I mean, there've even been 1 or 2 interviews where, you know, those robots that we have, the AI androids that we've created, where when you ask them, or even if you ask your device, the Lexus or Alexa, the Alexa, sorry, not the Lexus, that's the car, what their purpose is, and they say the purpose is to wipe out humans because that's the only logical way of fixing Earth. So yeah, so Atlas was basically on that. But there's a really cool twist at the end there. I actually didn't give you that much information. I was trying not to, and I think I succeeded. So yeah, guys, I hope you give J-Lo another shot there. It kind of reminds me of when J-Lo doing this movie. Is kind of like Kelly Kaluka also producing her own movies. I see a lot of actresses out there or actors out there are producing their own films because I don't think they get in the roles that they want. And kind of like Tom Cruise, they've realized the more effort that you put into creating your own film and producing your own film is pretty much the only way you can get your stuff out there now. So instead of waiting for a job, you create your own job. But I think that's what Corona taught us. Yeah, that you need to stand on your own and figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to make money and how you're going to survive. So yeah, guys, get an EMP. That seems to be the only way we're going to survive the future. That and start recycling. Cool, guys. Thanks for joining me. Have an awesome day. Enjoy Atlas. And check out Edge of Tomorrow. I heard they're making a sequel. That'll be really cool. Cool, guys. Thanks for joining me.